Welcome to today's video. Today's video is on budget 2022. In the budget 2022, cryptocurrency is legalized. Cryptocurrency will coexist along with the RBI backed currency. RBI backed digital currency will be issued in the financial year 2023. So India became one of the country that accepted, that legalized the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies. So this video is very much relevant. After introduction of a budget, I received so many calls from my friends to make a video on this topic. So today's video is on how the gain on virtual currency will be taxed. So stay till the end. A new section was introduced to the Finance Act. TDS provision is also introduced, and there are so many things. So stay till the end and do comment in the comment box how do you like this video. Thank you. Taxation of virtual digital assets. A new section 115 BH was inserted through the Finance Act 2022. A new section 115 BH was inserted through the Finance Act 2022. This section was introduced to tax on the income on transfer of virtual digital assets. Virtual digital assets would be taxed at the rate of 30%, same as the lottery income, and all the treatment that is applicable for the lottery income same is applicable here also. So income on transfer of virtual assets would be taxed at the rate of 30%, a special rate and treatment like a lottery income. No deduction in respect of any expenditure is allowed. If you take a loan from the bank and invest in cryptocurrencies, then that interest amount for the loan will not be deducted. So there is no deduction, no brokerage, no fees to the exchange paid, nothing will be deducted except the cost of acquisition. Only the cost of acquisition will be deducted. No setup of loss of any other provision of that. Suppose if you have loss in long term capital loss, or if you have loss in business loss, and that loss and you have gain in cryptocurrencies, so that loss will not be set up against the gain of cryptocurrencies, against the gain in the on the transfer of virtual digital assets. So there is no setup of any loss. Second thing, no setup of loss under such transfer against any income. Suppose if there is a loss in the transfer of virtual digital assets, and you have gain in business income or capital gain, or then or income from house property, then that loss will also not be set up against the income of any other head. If you have loss in virtual transfer virtual digital assets, that loss will not be carried forward, and that loss would not be set up against any other heads of income. So the point is clear that there is no setup of loss, there is no setup of loss of any other provision of the act, and there is no setup of loss of the virtual digital assets. There is no reduction except the cost of acquisition, and the tax and income is taxed at the rate of 30%, same as lottery income, and this is applicable from the assessment year 2023-24. So for the previous year, this provision is applicable from the 1st April 2023, from the first, not 1st April, this is the 1st July. So this is applicable from the assessment year 2023-24, from the 1st July 2022. Previous year is 22-23. So what is the TDS rate? If there is a gain and if there is a income, then of course the TDS rate is attracted. So TDS under section 194S, again a new section was introduced to the Finance Act 2020-22, section 194S. Section 194S deals with the TDS at the rate of 1% on transfer of virtual assets to a resident. So TDS is 1% on the sale consideration, on the transfer value, not on the income, on the transfer value. I think this is the loophole of the act, and after some point of time this may be rectified, and the TDS, I think this will happen in near future, that the TDS would be deducted on the 1% on the income of virtual assets. But right now it is TDS at the rate of 1% on transfer of virtual assets to a resident, transfer of virtual digital assets to a resident. In case of exchange or transfer, suppose it has happened that I have not transferred, I have not realized in cash, I exchanged it with other currency like Bitcoin with Ethereum, Cardano with Solano. There are so many currencies are there. In spite of taking cash from the exchange, I converted into a stable coin like USD dollar, something like that. In that case also, if you exchange or if you transfer in kind, then in that case also it is ensured that the tax has been paid in such consideration. The tax would be deducted. It is in tax would be applicable in case of exchange or in exchange in kind also. Same as lottery income. TDS would be deducted. There is a limit, monetary limit. Monetary limit is 50,000 for a specified person, 50,000 for a specified person, and 10,000 for a other than a specified person. So if there is a specified person, then the TDS would be applicable only when the transfer consideration paid for the transfer of digital virtual assets exceeds rupees 50,000 during the financial year. In case of a specified person. Now the question arises, who is the specified person? For this section only, the specified person means those whose turnover does not exceed 1 crore in the preceding previous year. Turnover does not exceed 1 crore in case of business and 50 lakh in case of a profession. For the previous year 22-23, we need to check in the previous year 21-22, in the preceding previous year. If in the preceding previous year turnover does not exceed 1 crore in case of business and 50 lakh in case of a profession, then that person is covered in the criteria of a specified person. Second, those individual and HUF who does not have any other income. Suppose I am a salaried person, I am taking salary, then and I don't have any business income, then in that case my criteria is also rupees 50,000. So what is the crux here? A specified person means specified persons are those persons whose turnover in the preceding previous year does not exceed rupees 1 crore in case of business and rupees 50 lakh in case of profession, 50 lakh in case of profession, or in case of individual and HUF who does not have any other income, So these are like a salaried person, like a salaried employee who is not carrying on any business. So these are covered under a specified person, and any transfer on virtual digital assets if exceeds rupees 50,000 for this specified person, the TDS is applicable at the rate of 1%. Please note 50,000 during the financial year. Or in case of person other than a specified person, the turnover, the monetary limit is 10,000 rupees. If on the consideration is paid on the transfer of virtual digital assets exceeds rupees 10,000, then on that amount TDS is applicable at the rate of 1% in case of non-specified person. I think this point is clear. Example like salaried person are the specified person who does not have any business income. And this 190, when 194S is applicable, no other provision of TDS or TCS is applicable. If 194S is applicable, 194O is not applicable. So in the act it has been clarified that 194S is applicable, then no other section, no other provision of TDS or TCS is applicable. Section 194 is applicable even if transferred to suspense account or by any other name in the books of accounts. If the amount is paid to a suspense account, there is no KYC norm fulfilled, and a suspense account was opened, in that case also 194S is applicable. 194S is applicable. I think section TDS section 194S is clear. In case any of you have any doubt on 194S, please do write on the comment section. I will clarify on that. this Finance Act empowered the board to issue guideline. Empowered the board to issue guideline. Board will issue guideline on the applicability of section of these provisions with the prior approval of the central government, with the prior approval of the central government, and such guidelines shall be laid before each house of parliament. Before issue the guideline, that guideline is laid in the house of parliament, and this after approving in the both houses of parliament, this guideline is applicable on income tax authority as well as the person who is paying consideration on transfer of virtual digital assets. Means after guideline is applicable on the income tax authority as well as the exchanges, Right now, if I give a gift to the if I give a gift, then in case of gifting a virtual digital assets, section 56 to 10, 50, section 56 subsection 2 clause 10 is on the gift provision. So this provision is amended, this section is amended and included the virtual digital assets. If you give a gift to someone, then this is also covered in the virtual digital assets, and section 56 to 10 is applicable. 56 to 10 is applicable. Definition of virtual assets is given in section 247A. Section 247A are newly introduced to give definition of digital virtual assets. I have not given the exact definition here, but this definition is wide enough to cover all virtual assets, token, NFTs, virtual assets of metaverse, etc. This definition is wide enough, elaborately covers all the digital, all the cryptocurrencies as well as assets in the metaverse, etc. Central government may notify any such virtual assets. This power is given to the central government. If anything that is not covered in the definition, the government further may notify such virtual assets and included in the definition of section 247A. RBI backed digital rupees on the same platform through blockchain to be launched in the financial year 2023. So the government motive is clear, to make a digital India. So for digital India, for digital economy, the digital currency is required. So for this, RBI will launch its digital currency in the financial year 2023. Thank you, friends. I think I have elaborately covered all the section of all the section that is applicable for transfer of virtual digital assets, cryptocurrency. And if you think that I'll make a video on cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, then do write on the comment section. I will also make a video on this. And this is the first video on budget 2022. After getting so many requests from my friends, I have made this video. Further video will come, so stay tuned with my channel, and do write on your comment section if you have any queries, if you have any doubt. I have given my mail ID also. My mail ID is mjaclasses.ca.ch.cma@gmail.com. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much.